Hey guys, now in today's video we're taking a look at the Deebot T30S AI robotic vacuum. And this is a robotic vacuum that's going to mop and it's going to sweep at the same time. And just like we're seeing this trend in many products, it also has AI that helps it detect and clean more thoroughly. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the robot. We're going to see its performance. We're going to put it through several tests. I have an obstacle course that it's going to have to make its way through shoes, cords, dog poop, carpet, and it's going to have to pick up some cereal that we've unfortunately spilled on both hardwood surface and carpet surface. Let's see how well it does. Now this robot features true edge adaptive edge mopping. So what it does is it has one of the brushes extends itself out, like kicks itself out to get as close to possible to your wall. So at the very bottom, when you think about where your tile, your hardwood floor basically meets the actual wall, there's typically a round piece of wood, or maybe you don't have a finish like that, but getting to that corner is really difficult. This guy extends itself out so it cleans that and it gets it very thoroughly. So you don't have to go after your robot goes through and then sweep that up or mop that up. It's going to get to those areas too. It also, for those of you who have pets, and this is to me an essential, we have multiple fur babies in our home, and we have 3 Pomeranians at this point, and basically has zero tangle technology, which means that as that rotary or that brush is going around and it's sweeping your floor, if it gets any hair, it's going to slice that hair automatically and nothing's going to tangle. And I've had robots for a very long time cleaning our floors, and the worst thing, the most painful thing, is to take off that roller and start trying to cut the hair that's been tightly wound to that brush. You're not going to have that problem with this. The other thing is, I really look for robots, and what I like about this robot is that it has hot water mop washing as well as drying. So 70C, and it's going to basically wash your mop brushes or the rotors themselves, and then it's going to dry it too. And this is really important because if those are smelly, if they're dirty, your floor is going to smell, hands down, right? So it washes it and it dries it, so you'll never have smelly floors. 60-day dust bag. Bag is going to be 60 days. I haven't been able to fill any of my robots because we don't have a lot of debris on the floor. So 60 days, in some cases, is going to last you even more than that. Some cases, you could even double that depending on how much it needs to pick up. It has voice-activated technology. It uses this AI or this robot called Eco, and you can say, just like you would say either a Google or an Alexa command, right? Or it's just going to do the same thing. So you'll be able to activate it without even having to use your phone. And there's 3 versions of this robot that you can consider in the family of the T30S. There's a T30S AI, which is what we're looking at, and it's going to be great when you have pets and heavy cleaning. You have the T30S, which is going to be for basic cleaning. And then there's a T30S combo version, which is going to be used, especially if you have one of these very diverse homes where you may have multiple levels, you may have carpet, hardwood floors, tile. While each one of these has a specific superpower, you also then have various models that you can check out. So depending on which one you're looking for, make sure you choose the right robot. We have the T30S. I think that's a great robot, especially because we have pets, and we also do have a mixed environment, right? So we have tile, we have wood floors, and then we also then have area rugs that you're going to see. So you want to make sure that your robot doesn't mop your rug. You don't want a wet rug. So this one obviously has the technology where it lifts the actual rotors that it uses to mop the mop heads, and it doesn't mop your carpet, which I love as well. So let's take a closer look. We'll see how it does in our obstacle course, and then we'll learn more about the robot. All right, guys. Now, before we take a look at all the components here that are going on with the Deebot. Now, before we take a look at all the components here with the T30S AI, I want to highlight just 4 basic things. As we were talking about in the intro video, you're talking about a robot or mop vac combo that has true edge mopping. Now, we're going to take a really close look at the Deebot T30S AI, and there's going to be 4 things I just want to highlight as we're watching it operate, and then also take a look at it. First of all, the fact that it has true edge adaptive edge mopping, and you're going to see how the little sides will come out to get the sides really nicely. 11,000 PA of suction, which is fantastic. It also has zero tangle technology. So we have 4 Pomeranians walking around, a lot of dog hair, and we don't get the roller itself as it rolls does not get tangled, right? The AI capabilities are going to enhance the way it navigates and the way it cleans. And then really, this is an all-in-one solution, right? So it mops and it sweeps at the same time. So starting from the very top, or let's start with the robot. So I'm going to pull the robot out really quick, and then we'll see it go in action. Now the robot itself, you'll notice it has a dustbin. That's legacy, right? So you can still clean that out if you like to, but remember, this is self-emptying. You're going to see that there's a Wi-Fi button there. You have your home button, you have your return to base, and then you have your power button. You do have these bumpers that as it's going around, if it does bump into something, this is going to protect it. I found that this is not the type of robot that bumps against the wall as navigating because it has intelligence. It has those scanners that help it navigate throughout the entire portion of your home. Now on the bottom of the robot, you do have 2 scrubbers, and what will happen is this one comes out. See, this is what that true edge is going to do. It's going to come out, and it's going to then get to those corners of your, I would say the woodwork. So you can see right there in the corners, it's going to get really close. Here you can see obviously some really grippy wheels. You have the actual whisker brush. I'm going to go ahead and remove this so we can take a look at what's going on here. So this is your roller, but this is where the tangle free comes in. You see those teeth that are right there? Those teeth right there are we're going to prevent any kind of dog hair staying, on this. It's a pain in the butt to clean. I'll tell you, if you have had a lot of hair, you're basically cutting this because it just gets trapped, and you don't have to worry about that with this solution. Now in the back here, or actually the front, because this is the area that goes into charge, this is the area that it uses to refill, and then this is the area that it uses to kind of suck out all of your dust and debris. Remember, you're not going to touch anything the way this works. Now for those of you who are curious where the dustbin is, open this up. Here's a little dust bag. This is what you use, you'll change out periodically. I can go months, if not a half a year or more, without having to change that. We don't really get a lot of debris. We are relatively have just the dogs walking around, so it's more about picking up the dust and picking up small things that the dogs leave around. We don't really have a lot of debris. Now on the top here, there's a button here that you can actually press, and this will activate things. One of the things that my son does is if he's house sitting, he'll come over, he'll just push this button to have the robots clean. That's something that you can do. I like using the app in order to do that. Now, over here, you'll notice that you have your 2 water tanks. This is your dirty water tank. And I just want to show you, what it's been doing so far, right? That obviously is dirty. So they do a really nice job of picking up dirt on your floors. You'd be surprised how much comes in. We're the kind of family that we basically take off our shoes at the door, right? We don't really bring shoes or walk in the house. I do have house shoes that we use, but those never go outside. But you could see this is what's being picked up with the dogs getting out, coming back in. And then this is the clean water tank. So I've gone through 2 of these already because I do a lot of cleaning as we're testing out the robots. And pretty much that's it for the docking station and the robot itself. All right, so the very first thing that we are doing is we're initiating the cleaning cycle on the robot. And what I'll say is that it's a little loud as it starts up. So the actual cleaning of the mop heads, as well as actually it's drawing water from the tanks that you saw and putting it inside the robot for cleaning. Now there's a couple things that are going on in our obstacle course here. We have a combination of materials because mostly what we have in our home is our hardwood floors. So we have this carpet here which has cereal in a lot of different places. We're going to see how well it does collecting that. We actually have some cups in the way. We also have some strategically placed dog poop. We're going to see how well it does with the dog poops. And then what we also have is an electrical cord right there on the side. So I want to see how well it does there. I'll probably put in a gym shoe just for good measure, just to see how well it does with avoiding gym shoes as well. All right, gym shoe deployed. It's actually my gym shoe. Got to do it for the cause, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to let the robot start. I actually zoned it to be in one place. Now, this robot has been cleaning our hardwood floors for almost 30 days now. And one of the things I will highlight is take a look at our floors. Take a look at how nice and shiny these floors are. There's no streaks. There's no spots. Again, the technology that we have with this robot does a really nice job of keeping things clean, and then also, keeping the floor spot free. Also, I'm not detecting any kind of smell or odor coming from the mop pads after use. So you're seeing that the robot is now going to come out. And hopefully I drew out this zone correctly. And we'll see it in action, how well it's going to do as it's navigating our obstacle course. All right, so the robot has been deployed, and we're going to see how well it does in the zone. So it's going to start working its way. I had it doing some other work, so now it's coming on this side. You're going to see it come on frame in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and pull back so that you can see it. All right, so here we have the robot, and you can see that it's doing its thing. And you can see the actual extension on the side, how the little arm comes out, and that is going to be giving you that true edge cleaning. So if I was going really close to that wall or to that fireplace edge, it would get in there really nicely. I haven't defined that zone as an area that it needs to clean, so it didn't go against that wall, right? So really what I'm focusing on is this area right here. So a couple of things I'm going to be looking for as the robot is doing its thing is, first of all, does it avoid the cups? Does it avoid, there's some furniture. There's also, I have we'll pan this way, you'll see. I have right there a projector on the floor. Is it going to crash into it, or is it going to work its way around it? You can see that it's working its way around it. And that true edge little brush is actually, see the mop brush is actually moving around things and trying to get things really nicely. So it should continue to work its way and then just get these floors nice and clean. So we'll see how well it does. Now, one of the things I wanted to highlight about the robot is that only one of the mop heads moves out. The other one stays in place. So the one that gives you that true edge detection is going to be the one that you see that extends out. So right now it's working the quadrant that I've defined. And what it will do is it will make sure that it goes over to make sure that there's an even, I would say, coverage, both of the brush and of the mop. So it may look like it's overlapping somewhat, and it actually is, to make sure that it covers everything. The one thing, though, to notice is that no streaks, no excessive water, right? And it's running relatively fast. And again, it's both in vacuum mode and mop mode at the same time. We want to see how it does it do when it comes to that cord that's right there. The thing I try to look for in a robot is a robot that I don't have to pick up after. I want the robot to be able to run and do its thing. All right, so it's getting closer and closer to that cord. Let's see what it does. And I think it saw it. Let's see how cautious it does. All right. It sees it. It's going to work around it. Okay. The other thing that should happen is as it gets onto the carpet, it should switch from mopping to carpet mode. And notice how it lifted, and the vacuum is popping up. The wheels or the actual mop heads are not moving, and now it's in vacuum mode. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. And notice how it's working its way around the cups. All right, this is difficult. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, so I'll give it half of a point because it made it through the cord once, but then it kind of got tangled on the side right there. Let's go ahead and move the cord out of the way. All right, let's see what it does. Carpet mode. Okay, sees the cup. Sees the cup. Will it push it? Okay, working its way around it. Notice how, again, it retracts, going into carpet mode. Does it see it? Does it? No. All right. So it's been doing really well in the cup test, but that cup it had a problem with. It's going to be working its way around it. Let's see how well it does with the poop test. This is really a torture test, right? Because this is an obstacle course. All right, obstacle. So here we can see what's going on with the app, and you can see all the areas that it's covered so far. And it's being pretty thorough because you can see right there that it's not leaving any spot except obviously where there's something in the place that it can't cover. So it's doing really good. At this point, it touched the poop, and by touching that poop, it's got poop. Worked its way over the poop, and it has poop on its wheels, guaranteed. Let's go ahead and move the poop. All right, so I removed the poop. Now we're going to see if it passes the gym shoe test. Let's see, it's the gym shoe working its way around the gym shoe. It's doing well around the gym shoe test. I'd say gym shoe test is a pass. So now what we'll do is once this test is done, I'm going to check out the carpet to see if the carpet is wet. And then I'm also going to see if there's anything left in the carpet when it comes to, just the cereal that I just dropped there. So you'll see it's going right over some of the cereal right there. That was pretty smooth transition. I have a tag out. Let's see if it does well with that tag. Yep. And you can see it's picking up the cereal, no problems. And that cereal's gone. It did really good. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.